All right, everyone, we have a great new talented actress we're going to talk to. She's got a lot of really cool projects coming up. I want to kind of introduce you to her. So, Saye Yabandeh, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing today, Brandon?
Oh, we're so blessed, and I appreciate you fitting us in your schedule. And there's just some really cool projects coming down the pike for you, so I just really wanted to get a chance to talk to you, get to know you a little bit, make sure our audience is familiar with these projects and what lies ahead, and help us jump right in here, because I mean, there's four or five things you got kind of burning on the stove here.
Yes, these days as an actress, you gotta have to have few things, ready to go. You cannot just wait for one, finish, and go to another one, because things get, put on hold, and then another one moves faster, then one will get canceled. So yes, I do, and I'm very excited.
I think one of the ones I think a lot of people are already talking about. They got a couple of really big shorts that are got some really cool people behind them. One's called Silk, the other one's called Terrorist Anonymous. Obviously, I don't think they're really kind of exactly alike or parallel one another. But tell everybody a little bit about Silk, for instance.
Oh yes, yes. Silk. I love Silk because there are certain projects that I do that are close to my heart and for me, and there are certain projects that I do that my agent tells me to do them. So Silk definitely was the kind that I really wanted to do for me. It is about child lives when they marry off their very young daughters to settle their debt. Like the father is poor and cannot afford to pay someone, and they say, okay, well, how about you take my daughter as a payment to an older man? And it's still happening in many countries in South America, in Middle East. It was covering that issue. Catherine Dent, who was a lead actress on S.H.I.E.L.D., the TV show S.H.I.E.L.D., she directed that. That was the AFI Women's Project. And of course, the brilliant Shohrab Dashlu, who was nominated for Oscars for House of Sand and Fog, and won the Emmy a few years ago for House of Saddam, was my co-star. So it was an amazing experience. It was a great message, and the movie received lots of attention from many festivals.
And it's just got to be such a rewarding thing to get to be a part of just such a powerful message behind such a story like this.
Absolutely, yes. Yes, you feel fulfilled, definitely. When you finish something like this, you feel fulfilled, and it doesn't have to do anything with the amount of payment you received or amount of recognition you received from the movie. It's just to feel that, wow, you've done something good, really. You contributed to your society. So that's how I feel.
Now, Terrorist Anonymous is kind of a different feel. So give everybody an idea of that project as well.
Yes, that's totally different. That's more of a fun comedy, dark comedy, and it's about different. It's like Alcohol Anonymous, but this is Terrorist Anonymous. There's terrorists from different countries that they want to quit terrorizing, so they go to this anonymous session. And I'm playing a Colombian girl in that one. I'm a sniper, and I'm a Colombian sniper, so it's pretty funny.
So the first step is admitting that you have a problem, whether it's terrorism or alcoholism, basically.
Anytime, yes, in a way. But we have terrorists for alcoholic as well in the same group. So
I'm not sure a 12-step plan is going to work for that group.
You really got to watch that and watch the end, and I think you're right. It did not work.
Yeah, 12 steps isn't going to work whenever they're terrorists. Let me catch everybody up a little bit on your resume here, because people may be familiar with Fifth and Alameda, but you produced this film. You got some best actress sort of nods on a couple things on that. So Fifth and Alameda was really kind of a cool project and film.
Yes, Fifth and Alameda. I exactly produced that movie. It was my project, my baby. So I developed it, found the script online from a young writer who was in New York, and I never met him till actually the premiere of the movie. So I purchased the script from him, and we did a lot of rewriting because I wanted to make the character to be Middle Eastern, the lead character, because I wanted to address some of the issues that I experienced myself in back home, because I went to high school there, and I'm very new here in the United States. So I wanted to address some of those. So we made the character to be Iranian, so we can talk about some of the problems that young women have in Middle Eastern country, possibly. And yes, we made the movie. It was a great success, and we got lots of attention at the festival. And yes, I got to take home few Best Actress awards on that.
And you got to work with Mario Van Peebles. A lot of folks know him, and he's just such a great actor and really has such a great, diverse resume as well.
Oh yeah, Mario was such a joy to work with, and he's a veteran, and he's a director himself. So I was really interested to see how Mario is going to work with my director, because when you're a director and you're working with another director, so it was just interesting to absorb that dynamic. And he's a professional, and he just did wonderfully. I really enjoyed working with Mario. And have you seen New Jack City that Mario
of course.
Long time? Okay, yeah.
No,
So I was a big fan. So they're happy to come on board.
New Jack City was just a phenomenal film. I mean, just incredible. Yeah.
Yes. So I was happy to just be able to, play opposite Mario. It was great.
And the resume just keeps going. We got so many different projects to try to talk about. You just wrapped up, I believe, a thriller called Blunt Force, and I think you got to be able to work with Dan Henderson. Now he's coming over from MMA, right?
Oh, yes. Blunt Force is another project of mine that I solely executive produced. That's more of an action film, and that's why Dan was such a great actor that we could possibly have in our movie, because it's just right up his alley. And he was just a joy to be around. We shot that in Mississippi, and right now it's in post-production, and very excited to have that one out soon.
Now, coming from your background, obviously you mentioned Iran and your childhood and going to school there and stuff like that. How did you kind of end up in acting? How did you end up in kind of discovering you had that desire to go down that road?
I did not know, because it wasn't much of an option back home. Then when I came to the United States, I immediately got drawn to it. I immediately realized that I need training. And then on and on, I went after, and I followed, and I went enrolled in UCLA for directing and producing, and of course the acting classes. But in Iran, I did not know, because it wasn't an option. When they would ask you, what do you want to do when you grow up? Everybody in my classroom would answer doctor or lawyer. And some girls would say, oh, I want to marry a doctor or marry a lawyer. So it wasn't not much option. But now that I have reached out to my friend, or my elementary friend reached out to me through Facebook and this wonderful social media, they are sending me photos, and they are telling me things that they're like, oh, you don't remember, Saye? You were the first one that put out the play in our school, because we didn't have a theater program. Then they send me photos. I'm like, oh, wow, I did do that. Like in our school, all-girls school, we did not have a theater program. And I would go ahead and grab like a comic book or a children's book, and I would say, okay, so I'm going to play the bee, and you're going to be the tree, and you're going to be the flower, and we're going to read these lines. So, and many other similar stories like that. So I know that definitely I had roots in wanting to entertain and wanting to play a character, but I had no idea till I came to the United States, the land of opportunities, and I was able to pursue it professionally.
Well, it sounds like you were already, producing projects as a younger girl. It's just that you just didn't realize that's what you were doing.
Oh, wow. You just brought it to my attention. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
You mentioned that a lot. I really enjoy the fact that you're so honest in talking about that, because I don't think people in America really do understand that, and how blessed we are to have the freedom and the flexibility to go beyond sort of, certain stereotypical careers and mantras and things like that. Like you said, you survey the girls. If one of them raised their hand and said, well, I want to grow up and be an actress, and like an actress in Hollywood, they would have either looked at you like you're crazy or taken you somewhere to have a more serious conversation. Am I right?
Absolutely. That would not, everybody will look at you like you were crazy. What are you even talking about? You don't even make sense. But now that I'm here, my girlfriends talk to me. They're like, you know what? We weren't shocked at all when we saw you on TV or we saw this movie. We were like, oh, yeah, she really belonged there. She was so entertaining in school. So, yes, I agree with you.
Now, as far as the film festival thing, because you were able to have a lot of success there, you've already produced a couple projects and that kind of thing. And give some folks that are out there, they're writing scripts, they may be working on an independent film. Obviously the technology has gotten so good so rapidly that even stuff that gets to YouTube is of higher quality than 10 or 20 years ago. So
Yes.
what do you tell people? How do you give them some advice on how to navigate the film festival project process and how to kind of break through to at least another level?
Wow. That's one of my favorite things, to share what I've learned with the other people who are interested to know, because you learn so much through this process, and I just want to give, so they won't make the mistake, or they would take a route that actually had a great result. So thank you for asking me that. It's definitely, each project is very unique to itself. So you can aim for a film festival, and you may end up not in a film festival, and someone just buy it right off the bat. Or you may say, oh, I want to have it just DVD release really quick, and then all of a sudden someone comes by and they give you, theatrical release. So you cannot really pinpoint where exactly you want to go. I always say that our project is a living thing, and it keeps changing and things moving, and this is a puzzle to, moving around and taking different shapes. But I would say for festivals, one thing that I would say, I am part of this festival now, Action on Film. It's a small festival. It doesn't have the name like Sundance or Cannes Film Festival, which would it's very prestigious and take your film to a different level. But it's a good community. And since my first film, they have been very welcoming. And any filmmaker that gets in their festival, for the rest of their career, they're welcome to showcase their festival showcase their film in their festival each year, which is wonderful. And you get to meet other filmmakers and network. They're really making a cool opportunity for everyone to meet each other. What I have noticed, the other bigger festival, which I love to be a part of because their name brings so much value to a movie, it has become more political and more. It's not much more about the independent film. I mean, if you have two A-list movie stars in there and you have a budget of over $8 million, I don't see how independent this could be. Because festivals used to be more indie movies, and that line got diluted, and I just don't see it anymore.
Boy, let me just interject there, because boy, isn't that true though? We've kind of evolved to a place now where an independent film will have a Hollywood star who's not working for grade, and have a budget of $2 to $5 to $10 or $15 million. That's somehow an independent film. But when I was growing up, an independent film was Robert Rodriguez making a film for $7,000.
Yeah.
John Carpenter making a film for $250,000 by buying clothes at Goodwill. I mean, it's just so different now, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And as you said, there's so much more material out there because, with the digital cameras, everybody have access to make their movies, and there's so much material. There are less quality material, and then it becomes harder to sell your movie. Even the distributors are becoming more picky because they have so much choice now.
Right.
So there are less advances. Rarely you get an advance for independent movie, and because they have so much option, they just don't take your films. It has been a little tough. Our industry is changing all the time, but you just got to stay with it and change with it and find the new ways if you want to stay in the business and stay positive, I would say.
What is it that drives you? I mean, you've got a lot of different projects. I mean, we can't pin you down as anything. You're doing action movies, thriller movies, serious film, a little bit. I mean, most actors and actresses and even a producer or director likes to dabble a little bit. But your resume, I mean, just out of the gate, we got stuff in every possible different direction, Saye. So how is your vision sort of shaped, and what is it that kind of helps drive you?
Thank you so much. Thank you for the compliment. I am a very passionate and driven person, and coming from where I come from, we learn to survive, and we learn to push forward and don't get discouraged. Iranian girls are very, very strong girls, and when you are under pressure, sometimes you work better when you're no longer under pressure, just like a little spring that you keep pressing down, and when you take off the pressure, the spring just jump off, That's how I see myself. And it was years of, being limited, and all these bottled up. And I hear, again, I'm coming here, and the doors are open. You really can achieve anything you want. So my motto is, I didn't come here to just be ordinary. I came here to be extraordinary person and make history and give and share and fully, reach my highest potential.
Amen. What a great story that is. What a great motto. I didn't come here to be ordinary. I came here to be extraordinary. Saye Yabandeh. Oh, man, what a great interview. Thank you so much for fitting this in your schedule. Please keep in touch, especially with your film festival and stuff like that, and see what we can do to help promote that for you and keep getting the word out there. This is really good stuff. Thank you again for fitting this into your time.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
All right, you take care. Bye-bye.